your blood. I'm covered by your blood. Your precious blood. Your holy blood.
My fellow Christian brothers and sisters, what I'm saying to you is that we are far from God because we are ignorant of the ways of God. We are not only misguided, but we are clueless, simply clueless regarding what God asks of us. Be ye holy, for I am holy. So now, before I address the issue at hand, which is the reforming of the church, before I address that, let me lay out, if it were possible, a basic background of the way of the God of Abraham and why that is critical to the expectation of God's or Christ's expectation of his church. Be ye holy because I am holy. Peter speaks of this. He picks up what God said to Moses in Leviticus 19 verse 2, in 1 Peter 2 verse 9. We are chosen people, his royal priesthood. So before we can understand the profane state of the church, the unholy state of the church, before we can understand why God is so greatly displeased with the church today, let me briefly go through biblical records in regarding God's reason for emphasizing holiness and the rigidity of his instructions in regarding holiness. I will have a holy nation, or I will not have a nation. I will have a holy people, or I will not have a people. Do you want to be my people? Be holy. What would it be like? What is it like if a father said to his children, I'm a father of 3. What would happen if the kids say, oh yeah, dad, we love you, dad, we care for your dad, oh, you're the greatest dad? They say, okay, great. And say, well, what is that? And so, oh yeah, that is the computer. Ah, what time is it, son? What is it? What time is it, my darling? What time is it? Ah, it is 12 o'clock. What are the rules? Computers off by 11 o'clock. It doesn't matter. So why am I listening to your computer? Oh, Dad, I love you though. So if you love me, why don't you do what I ask of you? Oh, Dad, yeah, I'm gonna see my friends. Where are your friends? Oh, we're gonna go do some stuff together. Just hang out, you know. What time is it? Oh, it is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, uh-huh. And when you're coming back? Ah, maybe 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. You're going 7 o'clock in the evening. And you're coming back about 3 o'clock. First of all, you're not allowed to go. Second, when you are allowed to go, you return to the house before midnight. So imagine then if your kids proclaim to love you, but every single thing you ask of them, they disobeyed, or they are defiant of those rules. What love is that? At one point, the parent would have to put his foot down, right? At one point, the parent would have to say, we have to restate the rules here. Obviously, I failed, or obviously somebody not listening. Obviously, I must restate what I will and will not accept. So, I would have to make an adjustment so that my house is in order. Are you with me? The Bible speaks about the bishop, the one who desires to be an overseer or a leader in the church. You must have your house in order. You must be a respectable man in your home and out in public. What type of a man is it who tries to lead God's people and is not a leader of his house? So the premise is there, the principle is there. In that case, the The one who desires to be a leader must show leader-like characteristics, which means you have to be able to be in control of your constituents, communicate messages, and ensure that things are in order. So when God is a leader of the universe, and he is saying, I want my universe this way, and we don't listen to him, is the Lord supposed to sit back and say, oh, humanity, oh, but I love you all, I care for you. Or you want to, oh, gee, I taught you that the man must marry his wife and be a good husband to his wife. Oh, but you want to fornicate. Oh, you want to have sex before marriage. Okay, but I still love you. Or you want to sleep with all the women all over the town, but I still love you. I'm the Lord. Oh, you don't want to do anything that I ask of you. Oh, gee, how about caring for the poor, caring for the fatherless? I don't care for no fatherless. My money is my money. Oh, gee, you have no heart. You're defiant of all my rules. You are immoral. You are indecent. You are rebellious. But I'm supposed to say, I love humanity. Kumbaya. Sing for me, humans. Kumbaya. The Lord loves you. Kumbaya. Isn't that stupid? What teacher sits in the classroom and let the children disobey all of the regulations in the classroom and say, oh, but I love my student? What coach let the guys come to training late whenever they want, do half the training? And the coach goes, oh, but we're going to win. Oh, everything is going fine. Check it out in the NFL. Check it out in the NBA. Check in any organization, any company. Douglas, Thompson, Aston. What time class starts? Oh, professor, yeah, it starts at 11:05. Or 11:05. Ah, what time is it, Morgan? Ah, gee, it's 11:35. Uh-huh. Okay, so why are you late? And if I go, oh, well, Doc, I couldn't make it early today. I just come at this time. What would the professor say? Wouldn't I be reprimanded? Was it likely the professor would say, okay, Morgan, we have to work on this. Don't come to class this late again. And if I repeat the offense, not only is the professor going to reprimand me, but they are, at least at Old Roberts University, for example, if you miss class certain amount, you lose a letter grade. And when that letter grade is gone from you, it is a sign, it is a reality, it is a punitive measurement to let you know you are not going to have your way. That's how it happens in an educational setting. If you break the rules of the club, you are not going to continue to perform. We can discuss whether it is stupid, whether it is nonsensical, all of the rules regarding doping. You look at the doping list, and it is extensive, the substances that they have on the list. It's just ridiculous, it appears. But I tell you one thing for sure. Do you have authority to decide doping rules? Oh, gee, I tell you what's going to happen. You're going to pay attention to what the rules are. Now, they might be on the ban list today, and the governing body might decide, well, this is not giving a great advantage to the athlete, so we are going to take it off the list. So what you couldn't take today, you might be able to take tomorrow. And the reverse is also true, that a substance that you could take today, they may discover, the scientists may say that, yes, this substance definitely gives an advantage, and it will be an unfair advantage for those who don't take it. Hence, they say it is on the ban list. You better pay attention, because if you take that very substance that was okay to take yesterday in a competition next week, you could be suspended. Is that foolish? Is that unfair? Perhaps. But I tell you one thing for sure. You have to obey the rules. 60 miles per hour in the street. And then a NASCAR driver comes, passes through, no problem whatsoever. And the police pulls over the NASCAR driver, 10 miles down the street and said, sir, what you doing? You were going at 110 miles per hour in the street. And the NASCAR driver said, officer, don't worry. I'm a professional driver. I can handle the car. Do you like what I did right there? Oh, that's a great spin I did right there, wasn't it? And the officer says, what are you talking about? Are you insane? For you, for the president, for all Americans, it is 60 miles per hour if you're driving in the street. It's the law. Guess what they call me? Law enforcement officer. I saw something happen in recent time where a law enforcement officer was handcuffed because he was driving drunk. Oh boy. I saw one where another law enforcement officer was doing something else, breaking the rule, and they pulled him over. Another one had something with his car, get pulled over. There's no exception to the rule. I am a law enforcement officer, and when I'm here, the law is bigger than I am, and I have to obey it. No exception to the rule. That is what makes us decent. That is what makes it work. It's for all of us, right? So, if we can be so rigid and so sensible in our reasoning for laws, regulations, what is your rationale for rejecting the sovereign reign and instruction of the living God, his laws for humanity? Unless you don't believe in God, unless you say there is no God. That is a total other argument, and that is a discussion that we can have in another context. But if we were to say God is, which I do believe, and there are billions on the face of the earth who believe that God exists, and for us who say God exists, when God gives his instructions, why is it that we would be defiant of God's instructions, yet we understand why we must drive our car within speed limits? We understand why we must pay our taxes. We understand why we can't just go to the shop and just take some food and leave and didn't pay for it.